Tom Fury, excuse me if the green screen doesn't work quite properly. I've got the sun staring right at me. It's very early. And I can't share this video out. So with it being early and with me being unable to share this, it's going to be down to who gets the notification. So, and with YouTube, they don't like giving notifications out for my videos. So I'm not expecting to see very many people today. But all I did want to come on to do really is dissect a couple of things that I've seen and just mention something that is a couple of other things to do with the news, I suppose. You call it news, whatever you want to call it, narrative, news. What is it? What is it? So on Sky News today was something I've noticed about Sky News. If you watch it, which I haven't watched it for a long time because of it's but you need to watch your enemies, you need to watch the liars, right? I've always said the smartest person is not the person that says they're full of shit. The smartest person is the one that says full of shit, but every now and again they tell the truth. There was a crazy article on there today. Don't get me wrong, they still managed to just keep the woke bit around the circle of it, but they admitted that a bunch of lefties, they actually said the left. They actually said the left. And they said about how the left have stopped. You probably know already the plane that was full of migrants that was supposed to be kicked out of the fucking country. The European court, which they're now saying is, well, it's not part of the European Union, but people don't understand that. I don't give a shit. We left Europe. Why is the European Union? All that proves then, if you're saying that whether we're part of Europe or not, that European court has more authority, how does that work? I thought we were a sovereign country. I thought we'd returned our sovereignty, but also what they're saying is, doesn't matter about your sovereignty. There must be some agreement that the European court has more authority regardless of being in Europe. Used to me. So it's either a bullshit scam for the fact that we haven't really left, or it just proves on this side of the planet who's running the show. And it ain't us. And our big voice in Europe is disappearing thanks to the French. But yeah, more to the point, why is the plane not taking off when this is what the policy we've made is? This is it. This is supposed to be how we fix the problem, right? Now we know it's bollocks anyway, but plane doesn't take off, hasn't taken off, and will never take off. I'm telling you that. That's my guess. And whilst this is happening, Devon's now become the new hotspot for migrants to come in, as well as Dover and everything else. So they've starting to come into Devon now. And while this is happening, I mean, let's just put it this way: we are not even able to eject one plane full of illegal. We'll never forget that word: illegal immigrants, migrants, whatever you want to call them. Right? We won't send them away because the human rights in the European court. What has this got to do with human rights? Telling people they need to go to a country that's more suited to them because they are damaging ours and we are full. And you have no right to be here. I'm not even part of Europe, so go away. Sorry. But the real power, obviously, is obviously in the States, but it's in over here. It's in Europe. Europe is proving more and more to be. They built the utopia they wanted to, and more it's proving to be a dystopian, authoritarian, completely woke state. The military will come. It will. They're doing things slowly at the moment because they realize we are watching and we can see. But things like this may seem small. But if the European Union can stop that plane leaving, well, already we've got far more migrants coming into this country than we got leaving. Illegal immigrants, sorry. And that is a serious problem, especially when they're committing the crimes that they're committing. And I'm sorry, I've had a look at the stats and the facts now. You look at the YouGov polls, you look at anything. It's not good for them. I'm sorry, in terms of crime and that, it's not good for them. Human rights. What about the human rights of every single person in this country that's paid the tax, gone to work, done whatever they do? And one of the things that they pay for is their safety. So the army takes care of things, the police take care, supposed to, yeah. That's what they pay their tax and everything else for. That's what they can rightfully expect. But instead, some people now got to worry about, in London especially, about getting stabbed on the way to work. What are we then? So what is Britain? Because at the moment it seems like it's some kind of vassal state. E-scooters. I know many of you are irritated by them. I know many of you don't like them. But the fact of it is, they are the future. Not the scooters so much, but the bikes. I changed to a bike because the bikes are amazing. And you can still pedal, you can still if you want to. But the point of it is, the bikes are just bikes. You're riding them on the road exactly the same way as you ride anything else. The only difference is, at the moment, because they come through the European Union, which is so high and mighty once again, the Chinese just con the Europeans about what they're selling. And you get the bike, and I've got a bike which is absolutely fantastic. Not really enough battery, but it's actually fantastic. But you gave it to, it's big enough, right size to give to a 13-year-old. And it does 30 miles an hour. Don't need to crash helmet, nothing. You think about that. But that's not the fault of the scooter. It's the fault of the people who made them. For a start, the people who made them, the Chinese, are responsible for why we don't have safe electric e-scooters. Secondly, e-scooters are a stupid idea. I'm going to admit it. I'm going to hold my hand up. I always got an e-scooter with a seat to make it a bike. Yeah? These people standing up and riding around are fucking idiots. You can get a child. When I was doing stunts, I did a stupid stunt that wasn't even worth filming. And I was so annoyed at myself because I hadn't broken a bone at that point. And I did this stunt, and all I did was I got on a child's scooter and went down a hill that was like that. And when I came off, because it was inevitable that I was going to, that's why I did it. All that happened is I went face first into the ground and broke my collarbone. And the worst it was, I was like, do I do any stunts today? Because I'm just about to go to Ibiza. It was 2004. And yeah, I broke my collarbone. The doctor said to me, it's the scooter. You need to get the height right. It's got to be the exactly right height. If it's too low, think about it. If it's too low and you go right forward, what's happening? And he said, it's got to be the right height. I was like, oh, geez. Because the doctors actually that were helping me with the stunts and how to do things. They're amazing. The doctors were brilliant. They used to actually give me advice on the stunts. So having an e-scooter with a fixed position thing there, going around doing, they say 15.5 miles an hour, but they go faster on pavements and shit. Stupid fucking idea. And it's a grey area, so people sort of can get away with it. Now, I've seen a guy with a number plate and whatever else. It's possible. And what they're talking about now is people getting number plates on them and everything else. And this is all right because we knew they were going to try and make money out of it sooner or later, DVLA and all the rest of it. But you can't get insured on them. At the moment, it's very, I mean, you can, but it's very difficult to find anyone. When I say difficult, I mean almost impossible to find anyone to insure you. Don't forget, some of these scooters have got 6-inch wheels, and potholes around here could be 8 inches wide easily. That's a 30-mile-an-hour crash, guaranteed. There's no way out of it. You are not going to ride your way out of that pothole. You're going to go over the top of your handlebars. So all of these things need to be taken into consideration. You cannot go over a cattle grid with one of those scooters. If you try, and I have, believe me, because I don't give a fuck about my body. I tried. I wish I'd filmed it because it was a fucking, excuse my language, it was a car crash, an absolute car crash. Well, it was a scooter crash, wasn't it? So I'm admitting all of this. At the same time, built right and done right, and like I say, on a bike with a twist and go, which is illegal, they are absolutely brilliant and just the same as anything else. And for an adult, they are perfect. So I knew, because I'd already heard that an old woman had got hit ages ago and broke her hip, and she's in her 70s, because some twat was riding like 30. Because some of these scooters you can get, by the way, I said they lie. So they got a sticker on the side, the European Union sees, and it says 15.5 miles an hour. Right? Some of them do 60 miles an hour. So there is one that does 80, but some of them can do 60 miles an hour, standing up with no seat. So not only can you kill yourself with those, but you can kill someone else outright. Now, they're making a news report claiming that somebody old has got hit with a scooter yesterday. Trouble is, it's the news, and I don't know if this is just a narrative to get us to again DVLA, all the rest of it. But if they're going to do this, they need to talk to insurance people, because insurance people need to start giving insurance. But what they're going to do, get a license plate, get you to get insurance and the rest of it. Okay, so how much is that going to be? You're going to make that as expensive as riding a motorbike? And then when we go from there, health and safety will jump in, won't it? And then when we go for what people are going to need a test? Am I going to need to test to do what I've done my whole life? Do you know what I mean? I mean, where we going with this? So this report is very conveniently timed, because what I've noticed is I was the only person riding a scooter around in the area that I live for the last 2 years. Now I'm seeing them. That's good, but I'm seeing them multiply. And unfortunately, the ones that people are using are the worst ones, the ones without seat and all the rest of it. So it's inevitable. Traffic cops, by the way, will just take the straight off you. So we're in a position where they won't make them illegal, because they want you using them for all this bullshit global warming bollock. Sorry about my language. For all this rubbish about global warming. And for other reasons, they know that those batteries are going to get a lot better. And I reckon they know the Chinese are putting. I reckon the European must know what the Chinese are doing. You're telling me nobody's tested one of those bikes, not once. They're not aware of any. Come on, they know. Anyway. I can't prove that, so I shouldn't say that. So something else that was said. Well, actually, a few things. I mean, one thing I want to give a shout out to Danny Roscoe, by the way. Danny Roscoe's actually opened the door, I think, to people who call themselves activists, and that includes me. He went out, made a video, went out and said what he had to say in the right place at the right time. Nobody gave him any shit because I think people agree with the things he was saying. And he's opened the door. He's just proven what we've been saying for a very long time. One person could do more damage and have more effect, to be more amazing as going to London or something, being an activist and standing on their soapbox, if you want to call it that, than 5,000, you know? And he's opened the door for any activist, anybody in our movement that calls themselves an activist. He's opened the door and showed you the way forward. He showed you how you can do what you want. You don't need to be part of some big organized demo. You want to go out, you want to say your piece, go out, say your piece. Make sure you put yourself in the right place, make sure you've got the right gear, and do it. And he's shown the way. And the response that he's got from people has been, I would say, dramatic in a way, because at one time everybody would have shouted him down, he would have had a load of problems, but everybody left him alone. Nobody gave him any trouble. That's important to remember. Yeah, so we've still got they are really still just hammering the narrative with Ukraine. It's not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And you've just got to decide, you know, whether you're going to blank it out or not. But this is the new Brexit. This is the new oh God, I'm sorry, my memory's not working. But all the narratives we've had over the last few years, this is the new one. Oh, COVID, sorry. And this is all this is. So there was actually one other thing I want to talk to you about, and I've been trying to buy for time for about the last 5 minutes, and I absolutely cannot remember what the other thing was. I should have written it down. I thought I was too good to need to write it down, and now I'm just embarrassing myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say that's pretty much it, because I've actually forgotten what the second item was. But going back to the first thing, it was absolutely crazy to see Sky News talking about the fact that lefties had caused this problem with this flight, and the way that they were addressing it was strange. It was the, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't trust them for 1 sec, but it was the one report I've seen them do in years that was like something we might do. I was watching this going, what's going on? Is the director or producer of this show going to jump in a minute and change things? I don't know what happened, but somehow, some way, the truth slipped out today on Sky News. Keep an eye out for it. It happens every now and again. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I apologize for getting the second item. I'm truly embarrassed by that. I mean that. I'm truly embarrassed by that. I'm just trying to find something on your comments. Economic migrants are not refugees. Agreed. Let me go back up. All right. Oh, this is, at the moment, so anybody who can give me advice on StreamYard using on my phone, I would be very happy, because they've changed it and it's really shit. Yeah, I'm getting up early. I'm getting up this time every day at the moment. Don't know why. I still feel like I'm dying, so why not get up early? Europe should not dictate to us. Agreed. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Devon. Yeah, Devon. Devon is the new place. Devon is the new place. They've landed in Devon, and that's for real. Check that out yourself on the news. That is for real. Devon is now a new migrant place. And by the way, this is what I was going to say to you about the Isle of Wight. I think this might have been the second thing. Say to you about the Isle of Wight and where I live. People think where I live isn't the target. I've told you, I'm ready. I'm ready because was it last year? I said I went to Isle of Wight and showed you some things, and I said that it was going to get like no, I said that the Isle of Wight was separated by this water, and that there was a different mentality over there, and it was a beautiful place, and it could never be, it could. We must never let it get touched because it is a piece of Britain that is compacted, compressed, and should never be touched because of this. It's got 125,000 people on there. It should always keep the same number. It's hard to get a job even, so they just hold the same number. I hear they're now building houses for migrants, knocking down ground and building houses in places they wouldn't build them even for residents because they were trying to keep the numbers down. But more importantly, well, not more importantly, but just as importantly, last year I stood on the top of my beach and I said that place was in danger. And I went over there to that, and people laughed at me, and not laughed at me. Sorry, they didn't laugh. A lot of people denigrated me and tried to sort of think that I was trying to make news out of something because I couldn't get down to Dover. But within 2 weeks of me saying that, maybe quicker, the SBS had to be called out for a ship that had been hijacked by migrants. And they were heading for the Isle of Wight. And they nearly got there. Now, it turned up in Devon. Isle of Wight may seem a lot further. Where I live may seem a lot further. If you think it's some way, somehow, it's going to get you where you want to go, you're going to do it. And places where I live, and just along the coast, are all in danger. Devon, you know? So, anyways, keep going. Yeah, I was drifting because I couldn't remember. I'm so sorry. So, anyway, back to this. So, yeah. So Devon is actually a new spot, and there'll be more. There will be more spots that will come up. Don't think it's just going to be Dover and Devon. That's it, and this is the end of that story. There will be more places. I guarantee it. Like I said, the Isle of Wight came that close. A whole ship was hijacked. Just keep watching for more places while planes are not taking off. You should be absolutely furious if you care about Brexit, but also, what it means and everything else, but also your country, everything. Just, I shouldn't say you should feel, but I imagine with what we do, many of you will be feeling just this is just absolutely unacceptable in so many ways. And literally right in front of us, even on the news, is they're showing us migrants coming in and nobody going out. And this is what they've accidentally done is they've showed us the whole narrative really in one small story, you know. Anyway, I sort of remember saying like late, but I did not really properly. So again, I do apologize for that. The reason I didn't write it down is because I'm normally, even though I've got a bad memory, very good at doing that kind of thing. So I do apologize. What I will say is I'll be back. Next time I do this, I will make some notes just in case that I have that problem again. I do apologize. I've got an outro here, but it seems very long, so we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching. Very early, I know, but I wanted to just say what I was thinking. I'll catch you soon, Tom Fury.